Now let us see how to divide rational expressions and state restrictions. This time we'll start with writing restrictions. So in the given rational expression we have x minus 3 over 2x squared divided by x squared minus 9 over 2x minus 6. Now let us first write down the restrictions for the given question. Denominator cannot be 0. That means x is not equal to 0. This is from the first one. And here 2x minus 6 cannot be 0, or x is not equal to 3, correct? So x is not equal to 3. So we get two restrictions from this particular expression. Now, as you know, division is reciprocal of multiplication, right? So what we can do is we can write this expression as x minus 3 divided by 2x squared times, so that is times. So let me write a dot here so that there is no confusion between x and multiplication sign. So we are left with, so we'll reciprocal means we'll write numerator in the denominator and denominator in the numerator, getting 2x minus 6 in the numerator and x squared minus 9 in the denominator. Well, as soon as you flip it and write like this, then x squared minus 9 comes in the denominator, and that means we have to write more restrictions for this rational expression. X squared minus 9 cannot be plus 3 or minus 3. Well, plus 3 is already in our restriction. Let us add minus 3 also. So remember one thing, that whenever you are dividing, then we have to write restrictions of the expressions with denominator 0, but the divisors, we have to write restrictions for both numerator and denominator, because once you flip, numerator becomes denominator. So that's kind of very critical to understand. Okay, now we can factor x squared minus 9. Let us do that, and then we will, now it's a multiplication operation, simplify and then do the multiplication operation. So we have x minus 3 divided by 2x squared times 2 is common, so we get x minus 3 in the numerator, and that is x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, now what are the common factors? 2 and 2 is common, correct? X minus 3 and x minus 3 is common, so we'll cancel these out. We're left with x minus 3 in the numerator, okay, divided by x squared times x plus 3. So that becomes the answer for this division of rational expressions. And the restrictions are that x is not equal to 0, 3 and minus 3. Well, you can write here also x is not equal to 0, 3 and minus 3. So that is how you divide rational expressions. Now let's do the second one. So as I said, let us start with writing restrictions. So restrictions are that x is not equal to 0, okay. Restrictions for both numerator and denominator in the case of divisor. So 10 minus 2x will be 0 for x equals to 5, which is not allowed, and the denominator will be 0 for, if you take 2 common, you get x squared, so you can take 2x common, right? So x is not equal to 0, plus we will have, if you take 2x, let me write down in factored form, then we'll add these restrictions. Okay, so we can write this as x minus 5 divided by 4x times, I'll flip it. So once I flip it, I get 2x squared minus 4x divided by 10 minus 2x. Now let me factor and then write down, okay. Okay, so this is x minus 5 divided by 4x times 2x is common. So we take 2x common, left with x minus 2. Denominator is, here we can take 2 common, so we have 5 minus x, correct. Now we'll write down the restrictions. So it is good to factor and then write down restrictions, kind of simpler, right? So we wrote for x equals to 0 and x equals to 2 is another restriction to be added. We already have restrictions for x not equal to 5 and 0, correct? So that completes the restriction part. Now let's divide. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, x divided by x is 1, and x minus 5 divided by 5 minus x. That gives us minus 1, correct? So with that we get our answer, which is minus, and we have x minus 2. We can write like this also, x minus 2 divided by just 4, right? So that becomes our answer. The restrictions are that x is not equal to 0, 2 and 5. So it is kind of important to mention restrictions along with your answer. So that is the final answer for the given question. I hope the process of dividing rational expressions is clear to you. Important differences are that when you state restrictions for the divisor, you have to write restrictions for both numerator and denominator. Dividing is same as reciprocal of multiplication. So you can flip the divisor and then continue with simplification and multiplication of the rational expressions. So that is how we do them. Thank you and all the best.